Welcome to episode 18 here of Drew's Basketball Crew. I'm back, right? I mean, I talked about last week what was all going on. Wisdom teeth, all four of them out. It was quite the recovery, I'll be honest. I recorded last week and a little bit of pain there on that Monday episode, but thank you for everyone who bared with me there. But look, I mean, we're back here. We have All-Star game tonight. I want to keep this episode, short and sweet as right, I want to talk about how to approach this game from an over-under perspective. If you're using Fliff and getting on, right, some spreads or money line, who you think is going to win this game? It's hard to say, right, because we don't have the draft yet with how they're doing it this year. And then also, right, Giannis sounds like he's not going to be playing, but we do have to acknowledge, right, there's going to be there could be some value before the games start here, and it's really the anticipation of what you want to play. We're gonna have to talk a lot of prize picks in this episode because they got 3-point made, points, rebounds, assists, or PRA, rebounds, assists, and then they have points. So I mean, they have a lot of great things here to talk about. So it's important to highlight that. I don't know. I'm also, of course, they have the G League game that's on before. You can bet on that, but really, we're looking at this All-Star game because we're looking at guys who we think are gonna, for lack of a better term, try their hardest, right? I mean, Giannis, time and time again, was an awesome value because he would try. He would try more than others in this game, and I feel there could be some guys here. So we have a pool of 11 players for points. We have LeBron 24.5, Luka 21.5, and B 26.5, Markkanen 13.5, Irving 19.5, Morant 16.5, and then Mitchell 17.5, 12.5 for Jokic, 22.5 for Tatum, 9.5 for DeRozan, 7.5 for Holiday. I won't read them for all of them, I promise. But for points, I did want to read them because I think there's some here. Like I think John Morant, for example, is a guy who I could see going for it all, right? I think Morant and Mitchell are the too many perceived, right? 16.5 and 17.5. I feel, and again, if they're not on the same team, I really like their chances. LeBron's at 24. The team's kind of steep already. I know that, right? A lot of people are going to try to give him the ball. What about the hometown hero, Lauri Markkanen? 13.5 only. I don't know. I think Markkanen points over points. I like Mitchell over points. I was hoping there was going to be, some other ones, but rebounds don't bother. How do you predict rebounds in an All-Star game? They don't have a Drew Holiday assist line. That was the other one I was looking for. I think that would have been a lock in an All-Star game, depending on where it was. But honestly, I like what Morant and Mitchell bring to the table in a game like this. Same with Markkanen. So those three especially. The question is, do you dare bet the under in an All-Star game? I don't think you do, right? You don't know how this, odds are it's going to be a high-scoring game than a low-scoring game, right? So I think that's something to highlight and not really take into account in this one, those unders. So I think your options here are going to be taking the overs or the under, or the unders, of course. But yeah, and I don't. And once the draft begins, all players will be removed from the board. Keep in mind, so that's why we're doing it now. So they're able to do it like this. So Kyrie Irving is up at 2 3-pointers made. Is his over under? Irving and at 2, that's not bad value at all, honestly. Would you take Donovan Mitchell there also at 2.5, pay up to get one extra? 2.5. Now you can't get that push at 2. I don't mind that. I don't mind Irving or Mitchell at that 3-point line. Then also Doncic, LeBron, and Tatum are all at 2.5. I'm not sure, honestly. I could see LeBron. LeBron historically has just shot a bunch of threes in this game, so I would probably take him. I honestly would. LeBron's probably that guy with that, but points wise, I don't know if he's gonna get 24.5. He could shoot 12 threes. He could take 20 shots, and he might only think about how many guys play. Think about minutes. A lot of things to think about, but I I want to highlight what I'll be drinking tonight during the game, right? You guessed it, Point Diet Root Beer. Thank you again to Point Brewery for sponsoring, right? They're made here right in Wisconsin. And again, it's 0 sugar, 0 calories. It's a diet root beer. It's got a nice vanilla taste. So I think it's really underrated, right? It's root beer plus vanilla. Really enjoy it. Problem was with Wisdom Teeth, they don't want me drinking. I always like to have, maybe on a weekend, a nice diet root beer, right? Couldn't drink any last weekend because the Wisdom Teeth getting out. So get to enjoy the All-Star game tonight, right? Be watching. I'll be able to have a nice Point root beer here. And I'm looking forward to. So I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan, right? Milwaukee, you see the Milwaukee sports in the background. Potentially in 2025, having the All-Star game in Milwaukee is a dream come true. So I'm really hoping they get that approved, they get that done. All right, back to the lines here. So Drew Holiday, 7.5 points. I'm going to go back to that one. Again, it's a lot of speculation. Do we think there's a potential there? I mean, I was thinking Giannis, right? Right, he was going to be on Giannis's team. So depends who Giannis drafts. And Giannis historically, I believe, has taken guys he wants to play. I know he's not playing, but he'll take the guys he likes, not the guys who might, the best player available, right? So with that speculation, I think Drew Holiday 7.5 isn't a terrible play. So let's say I'm making up the parlay right now, right? I'm going to take LeBron over 2.5, Holiday over 7.5 points, and then I think a 3 leg here is going to be kind of the play here, 2 or 3, and then the hometown hero take his points, right there, boom. You get a power play times 5. There you go. So that's an example of probably a parlay I'll be looking at. Intrigued to see if they're going to bump any of these lines. Feels like it's going to be hard to do it in an All-Star game, but you never know. Like that G League game we're not going to talk about, unfortunately. I'll have it on, right? I'd love to want to see what's all going on, right? I mean, guys like Luka Garza, Scoot Henderson, Charles Bassey, Sharif Cooper, Scottie Pippen Jr. It's a good group of guys. Love to see what's going on there, but we got to focus on the All-Star game. So keep those guys in mind. Again, rebounds, I'll read them here. We'll talk about them, but it's like, just be cautious when you're going about it. LeBron over under 5.5, Luka 5.5, Embiid's is 9.5, Lauri Markkanen 6, Morant 4.5, Jokic 8.5, and Tatum 6.5. Potentially, I just see Luka being that guy, to grab again. Like, how much research can you do in an All-Star game like this? Right at this point, we're looking at the player and how competitive they really are. I mean, in a game like this, it's it's to honor, right, players on their great starts to their season, their great first half. So Luka 5.5 rebounds might be the one I'd consider the most, but honestly, Embiid 9.5. That's a lot in an All-Star game. That really is. What if he's just out there shooting threes? And on defense, what if he's out on the perimeter? I mean, I could say the same for Luka, but honestly, Luka would be the guy to go, and he wants the ball in his hands. He wants to bring the ball up the court. Really? I mean, I don't know if I see Embiid being that guy who wants to just bring it up the court the whole time. So Luka 5.5. Maybe LeBron, honestly, but I'll stick with Luka. So I think those are my main ones. Assists, I don't know. I really don't know. Jokic 8.5. Jokic would be the guy to pass in the All-Star game, right? That's why his assist line's the highest. But like Mitchell, Morant, Irving, Doncic, and LeBron, I honestly maybe under Donovan Mitchell at 4.5. He's not even getting that amount of assists in in actual competitive games. So, yeah, I'd maybe over Jokic, under Mitchell. So those are other ones. Comment your thoughts or let me know if there's any other lines you're looking at. I'll have a parlay made for you all. It'll be up. Of course, lineup stuff. Fantasia. I'll be trying to see if I can get a contest going on there. We'll see what's all going on. Higher, lower. We'll be looking at the over-unders. So kind of what we're doing here. We're going to apply that in the world of Fantasia. So I have links for all that. It's all down below. Also, Point Brewery, thank you again for sponsoring, right? Today, basically, for me, right? We have an all-star game tonight. I'll be drinking Point Brewery Diet Root Beer. It's a great thing to go about with your, with your weekend. And again, it's available in a lot of stores in the Wisconsin area. You can buy it also online on their website. So just a lot of options to get Point Brewery in your hands. So otherwise, I'll be back here actually tonight, 5:00 for the All-Star game. We'll be talking with Keegan Zimmerman. It's a Division II basketball athlete at the University of Dubuque. I love their logo, so I'll be talking about their their logo. It's a great logo. It's going to be up on, of course, that episode will be up for everyone on Wednesday. This episode, of course, being up right away here, but that's all I got. So thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.